that are around the eye, the skin that's near the eye, really adds a lot. If you're missing all those little tiny lines and dots and stuff that are around the corners of the eyes that help define the actual musculature of the eye, the eyelid shape and stuff are really important to conveying realistic eyes. You can't just be like, oh, there's my eye and there's my fur, because most mammals have a transition point of eyelid and or eyebrow that captures the moisture, where the moisture pools at the bottom part of the eye, and that can be really important to convey. This particular image doesn't have like any real highlights. A lot of images you'll see have actual like really bright dots that are of where the moisture is just pooled at the bottom of the eye, and that can really help define the shape, the physical shape of the eye.
I'm gonna do the way I add color.
Hey Greg, introduce yourself here.
Greg Erickson from Bismarck, North Dakota. And I'm no expert at color by any means. That's the way I do it. I do a lot of washes. And I really build it. Some people add in their color right away. I really build mine up. And I use Comart media. This is an airbrush paint that I've had for years. I got it when I was in college, and I have so much of it. It'll probably last me the rest of my life, because as you can see, I use like a drop at a time. So I don't use very much color at all. And I'm really sloppy when I put it in. There's no real, I don't worry about how much I get in. I just get it in here.
You're a little more precise when you do like one of those goldens on a whiteboard though, aren't you?
I've never done whiteboard, so. But no, I'm not precise at all in any of my coloring.
So how do you mix it? Do you mix it right on the board, or do you mix
I mix it right here, and then that's why I have my little test sheet here. See, now I'll just jump into a bigger brush here.
And the thing that cracks me up is all the airbrush forms I go to, they always have these big airbrush cards. You have to pay like a huge amount of numbers to sit in on a lesson. And here I am thinking, I got all these pros, and I'm getting this for free. All I had to do was
Oh, you didn't get your bill yet?
no,
That's coming.
just send it to the white person.
They just got to decide if they need to deliver.
I'm just
or
spreading
They have a White House in Canada?
Yes.
It's called Taxman.
trying to hear how you scratch.
So Greg, did you fully scratch it beforehand then?
Pretty much, but now, see now what I'll do, and it's kind of hard to demonstrate because what I do is now I put this first layer in, and I'll go back and re-scratch now.
Okay.
And then I'll just keep building it up. And that way, with these transparent inks, the color, like these areas that are really light, they're gonna stay light, and I'm gonna re-scratch that area. But where the green is at now, if I don't scratch it, when I go green again, that particular scratch is gonna fill in darker. So it's gonna keep building the green, so you're gonna have levels of green then in each scratch. And that's how I was taught to do it. I don't know if there's probably people who are better at color than I am.
And the other really important thing about scratching back into the color is to make sure the board is dry.
Yep.
Like, you know, his is bad. If he goes back in a little, we gouge the clay a little bit. So you
It gets very
It's really tough to do a demonstration on because it does, I do have to let it dry now. Good, and I put a lot of water in it, but I try to get that.
I brought this to.
It really
Well,
light.
that dries perfect.
Not to push my clayboard inks, but one of the nice things about the clayboard inks is they were designed just for scratchboard because they really soak into that surface very quickly. So they'll dry much quicker than like any watercolor based or like acrylic pasties. And then the cutting back. I haven't tried too much of those Commarts.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if these are available anymore. I really don't know. Are they? Like I said, these are I bet you they look a lot different, because these are,
Yeah, bottoms are different.
So how do you know when it's dry? Just surface or? is it
You'll
the-
feel it, and it's almost
Yeah,
feels a little
there's a
damp.
difference in the texture when it's damp. It's kind of gummy feeling when you try to scratch through it.
Way,
Or,
I mean,
and you can feel it, if the board feels a little bit damp or a little bit cold,
the coldness
Yeah.
is what
you
you
can
really
tell
feel.
if it's got a little bit, if it's a little bit too wet still.
But it does dry so fast that if I start inking up here, by the time I'm done inking down here, I can start my scratching up here. It dries that fast.
but see, I add so much water into it.
You are
that-
adding a lot of water.
Yeah, well, I dyed
And-
mine a lot too,
and
but
I
I
like-
still just put a little bit of paint on.
The other thing that, at least other scratchboard arts I've talked is the key is putting it on with really a dry brush technique will give you much.
I lose the hair dryer all the time, because he's always pouring the hair dryer. Not for you.
No, you're fine.
Those are actually, that's like a heat gun, heat shrink or something.
Lines down in this lower area where it's not really, it's real short, coarser hairs, and it's not as fine and overlapping as it is up in the higher areas. So that for those, I just use really short, kind of coarser strokes. And I want to see everybody else's, so I'll just kind of finish out this eye area. This is real coarse hair. I start real light and I just